If I had to bet on the single genre of thought leadership article most likely to generate inquiries from prospective clients and referral sources, I'd bet on articles concerning misconceptions. They're not produced nearly as often as they should, but you've probably come across them at some point in your professional reading. They normally cover misconceptions regarding certain issues like divorce or complying with a particular statute, or misconceptions about how to do certain things, how to handle certain legal situations like litigating particular matters or handling certain types of transactions. The reason why these types of articles can be so effective at generating inquiries from prospective clients or referral sources is that by explaining what people are falling for, are getting wrong, you demonstrate knowledge and wisdom regarding that topic. You are so good at what you do that you know when people are not understanding something correctly, when they are getting things wrong. So how exactly would you write these types of misconception articles? I'm gonna tell you how. The first thing you do before you do anything else is you have to figure out who your audience is for a particular misconceptions article. Are you talking to clients? Are you talking to referral sources? Are you perhaps talking to both? With these articles, you can talk to clients or referral sources, and these articles are effective if you are a B2B attorney or a B2C attorney. For example, you could be a plaintiff's attorney, but here you're talking to referral sources, so you're going to be talking about what plaintiff's attorneys get wrong regarding traumatic brain injury cases. Or maybe you're a complex commercial litigator at a large corporate defense firm, and you want to talk about the way that certain corporate attorneys or M&A attorneys tend to get something wrong, the misconception about complying with a statute or avoiding litigation arising out of particular transactions. In that case, you could be talking to in-house counsel at large corporations, or you could be talking to M&A attorneys at other firms that don't know litigators, don't have a go-to litigator to refer cases to. Here you are attempting to step into that role based on this article. Okay, now we have an idea of the direction we're going in terms of who we're targeting with this article. Now let's get into the execution of the article. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at misconceptions that this target audience might have. I would focus on 3 to 6 misconceptions. You have to balance having a decent number of misconceptions that you're going to discuss with the depth you're going to go into for your misconceptions. You could have 6 or 7, and those could be a paragraph long, or you might want to have 3 or 4 that are 2 to 3 paragraphs long. Let's not make this a 5,000 word article. We can keep this to 1,500-ish to maybe 1,800-ish words by figuring out the right balance of depth we're going to go into with the number of misconceptions. Second, you're going to focus on misconceptions most relevant to your target audience. Yes, this sounds like common sense, but figure out what your client's biggest concerns might be and work backward. For example, plaintiff's attorneys might be concerned about mishandling a complex case, leaving money on the table because they didn't know how to litigate a certain kind of case. Corporate attorneys might be concerned about screwing up deals and transactions that could lead to litigation, them getting fired, maybe even a malpractice claim. So focus on what about these types of cases could bother them. Because again, you are proving to them that you have the knowledge and wisdom to help them with these cases, to either be their attorney or to be the one they refer cases to. So focus on what they might be concerned most about. And that's where you're going to start your misconceptions. Third, the misconceptions you cover should demonstrate your experience in the field. You're going to want to pull from real world experience, real misconceptions that you've seen clients or referral sources have. You want to suggest, subtly or not, that you've seen certain things happen many times, which means you've handled lots of cases and have the experience to help whoever your target audiences are with the kinds of legal matters or issues that you are discussing and that are the basis of these misconceptions. You could talk about high-level misconceptions like not understanding the intent of a statute or not getting a formula in a statute correct for the purposes of deals, but I think it's better to focus on in the weeds type misconceptions that demonstrate your judgment, your knowledge, your wisdom, and your experience handling those certain matters. Fourth, let's not cover only black and white issues. I would highly recommend that you stick your neck out by challenging conventional wisdom. Again, you want to show through these misconceptions articles that you are so knowledgeable that you can call out when the majority gets things wrong. It wouldn't hurt you to focus on misconceptions where people can disagree. Maybe one of the misconceptions could be concerning the experts to be retained for a particular type of litigation, or maybe a negotiation style when handling certain types of deals. But it doesn't hurt to be covering misconceptions where people could disagree, because again, it suggests that you know enough about the underlying legal issues and business issues that these misconceptions concern, that you are able to stand above the fray and point out where the majority might be getting things wrong. When you finally sit down to write this article, here's the structure I suggest you follow for each misconception. 1, it should be the misconception. What do people think? Then you should cover why they think that way. And then finally, why they're wrong. This structure forces you to show your intellectual work, which more persuasively demonstrates your knowledge and wisdom. Not only do you know why people are wrong for thinking a certain way, but you know why they think that way, and you know why they are getting it wrong. Otherwise, you're not completing the logical loop. Sure, a misconceptions article that focuses on what people think, i.e. the misconception, and why they're wrong is probably serviceable and could still demonstrate knowledge and wisdom on behalf of the author. But mentioning why people think a certain way, why they have this misconception, to me just signals a next level amount of knowledge, wisdom, experience, and judgment that is going to persuade prospective clients, current clients, referral sources to look to you to help them with the legal issues and the business issues that these misconceptions concern. If you were to tally the most popular types of thought leadership articles that attorneys and other professional service providers write, I'm not sure that misconceptions articles would be in the top 5 or even the top 10. But in my opinion, they are an immensely persuasive thought leadership article type. By talking about the misconceptions that current and prospective clients and referral sources are likely to have regarding the legal and business issues that they face or people that they could refer face, you are positioning yourself as the person that they should call to help when they have those legal or business issues. If you're interested in learning more best practices for how to create persuasive thought leadership, check out lawfirmeditorialservice.com. We have more than 500 videos, blog posts, and podcast episodes that can help you do just that.